Shalom, Yasharala. I'm going to give infinite honors to my Heavenly Father, my great King, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Harakakadash. I want to give double honors to our teachers, the apostles, of great millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shah, pushing his true crops before winds in this final hour. Shalom to you, brothers. All right, on this topic, man, I'm going to go into how America is going to turn into from a first world country to a third world country, fourth world country overnight, okay? It's not hard to fathom, all right? It's gonna, and when I say overnight, people gonna go from one day, 1 week, going to Walmart. We see the hyperinflation right now. Going to Walmart, getting their peanut butter jelly, their chicken wings, so on and so forth. To the next week, starving. Going a week. It don't take time for a famine to hit. A week or two. All right. You don't eat in a week, you're starving. Okay. Especially when your body has adapted to eating 3 times a day. Then it goes to the very next week. Even if you're eating 1 time a day, it's going to be hard on the body because the body isn't used to it. The body hasn't adapted to it, okay? So we're talking about not eating at all, okay? And the so-called white man, he's diabolical, all right? He knows what it takes to get these things popped off, and he's going to do it. He's going to do it, and these so-called civilized people here in America are going to resort to cannibalism in the coming days. And guess what? It's scriptural. Shalom, brother. And it's scriptural. It's in the scriptures. It's documented in the archives of scripture, and it's going to happen again. I did a sit down on this some time back, but hey, we don't only come with the glorious promises and the things that the Most High have in store for that love him, but through the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. So we teach the nastiness of the scriptures, the whole truth, the whole road. All right? And it's about to get nasty and diabolical here in America. And I got a few excerpts I'm going to bring out to show that the so-called white man wants a famine to come. And he don't know that he's in the Most High's trick bag, because the way the Most High is going to judge his nation and judge the people of the earth, one of those ways is going to be through famine and people resorting to cannibalism, doing things that they never fathomed they would do, never thought in their minds they would do, okay? So I'm going to start off in this clip, all right, about survival cannibalism, how cannibalism works, all right? And in this clip I'm going to read it in its entirety. You're going to see that regular people, these cases that's documented in history, these things happen for real, that these were so-called civilized people that got put in bad situations and they resorted to cannibalism. So how much more these Americans that are totally 100% dependent on the government, and when the government shut down, what happened to them? None of them have no skills like our people did in the 1920s and 30s. They don't know how to deal with agriculture, go out there and hunt, fish, and stuff. All right, especially people that live within the city metropolitan areas. All right, they don't know how to do shit. They have no skills. Their only skill is to go to Walmart, go to Kroger, so on and so forth. All right, but this clip that I'm about to read is going to show times throughout history where you had situations where people went all the way left, and they never thought they would do this. So I'm gonna start off from the top. Anthropologists divide anthrophagy into 2 broad categories. An anthropologist is a person that studies the way a human brain works, all right? The human mind works, all right? And anthropophagy in 2 broad categories, and that's talking about humans that resort to cannibalism, okay? Based on its context. One is learned cannibalism, and this is the category the so-called civilized people in America is going to resort to, the learned cannibalism. Let's check it out. Also, customary anthropophagy, okay? The other broad classification is survival cannibalism, all right? And America's going to be dealing with that one, all right? But they basically the same when you hear me read it, okay? It's perhaps the most disturbing. Survival cannibalism isn't learned. It appears to be innate, all right? It is also one of the most forgiving in the minds of Westerners. Now you got to understand, Westerners are degenerates. When we say Westerners, just go to Edomite. And what does the scripture say about Edomite? He's the most vilest of all the men. The book of Hebrews call him, say, is no fornicator like him. He's the base of men, all right? So this is how the mind of Westerners work when they get in a bad situation. And guess what? Our people are polluted and have these Western mindsets. So our people is going to rock out to this vibration, all right? Your mother, your sister, your cousin, your best friend. When this shit come down, they're going to do what the mind of Westerners do because they have a westernized mindset, all right? And it happened more commonly than civilized society, so-called civilized society, because this society is not civilized, all right, would feel comfortable admitting, okay? So these so-called civilized people, let's see what happened to them when they got in bad situations. The donor party is one striking example. In 1846, a group of westward expansionists set out for California from the Iowa Territory. A group of 89 settlers broke off from the original party, taking a shortcut through the Sierra Nevadas mountains. Stranded in the mountains by a harsh winter and faced with starvation, the group splintered again. As the weather grew worse, the original and expedition sections of the donors party depleted their food, their animals, and eventually turned to cannibalism to survive. All right. Now, this is what you call learned cannibalism. All right. I don't see the difference between survival and learned cannibalism. Okay. All right. When you put in a bad situation and you don't have no other way out, this is what westernized people, the people that grew up in the Western Hemisphere, do. All right. They brew beasts. Okay. They resort to cannibalism. A man that serves Yahweh Shema Shai, before he do that, he gonna just say Yahweh Shema Shai, take me. What did Elijah do when Elijah thought all was over? He said Yahweh Shema Shai, take me. You see what I'm saying? Before I do this and commit this atrocious act, all right, we got this law to keep us civilized. Yahweh Shema Shai, take me or feed me. All right. We're gonna, before we do that, we'll be like Yahweh Shema Shai, man, take me out the game, man. All right. But a westernized mindset is fleshly. He's carnal. So he's gonna do what a brute beast do. All right. He's all about survival and what it, by any means necessary, wherever it takes. But we're gonna have that code of ethics still in our mind. 40 years later, 4 men on a yacht named the Mangenites sailing from England to Australia was stranded in a lifeboat after the yacht sank in the Atlantic. They remained adrift for more than 2 months and exhausted the meat of a sea turtle they captured. One of the men, sailor named Richard Parker, drank seawater out of desperate thirst. All right, and if you ever put in that situation, man, if you lost at sea or nothing, don't ever drink seawater, man. Don't ever drink it because it's going to dehydrate you more with all the salt in it, okay? Now, you'll do better off not drinking it than drinking it. It's going to kill you faster. As his health declined, his shipmate opted to kill and eat him rather than wait for the young man to die naturally, okay? And this is what humans are going to do. He said his shipmate, that's his man's. All right. So think about society. Whoever close to you and they starving to death, your boy, your mother, your sister, your father, they're going to kill each other and eat each other because this is what happened when you're in a brute beast mindset. This is what humans do. In fact, hold up. I got a precept for that. All right. This is what humans are without the law, without the breath of life. This is what humans are. Thus saith Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 3. And I'm gonna go to around the 18th verse. All right. All right. Ecclesiastes 3:18. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that Yahweh might manifest them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts. Okay? Yahweh Shema Shai When he created us, he said he created creatures, all right? All right? He created beasts, all right? Without Yahweh Shema Shai's breath of life, when you go to Genesis, the first chapter, the 26th verse, when he said, let us make man in our own image, all right? He took out those men and gave them rules, regulation, laws, statutes, commandments. Those were the sons of God, all right? So that made them different from the other nations. The other nations were basically brute beasts, because brute beasts rock off of instinct, carnality, all right? Their sensual, fleshly desires. But when he said, let us make man in our own image, he gave us a code of ethics, all right? He blew his spirit in us. So that's what make us not beasts, but the sons of God. But men in their natural state, without Yahweh Shem Shai, this is what he say about them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts. They fucking animals, man. So what does an animal do when he get in a desperate situation? He goes off his instinct. Whatever around him, he gonna eat it. Your sister around you, you starving to death, they're gonna kill a sister and eat her. Cut her breast off, cut her titty off. Put it on the grill, man. This is what these so-called civilized people are gonna do in this society, all right? For that which befalleth the sons of man befalleth beasts, okay? These Americans that we see around here eating pork, eating shrimp, all right? They don't have the breath of life in them. They know more than beasts, all right? While society is so-called civilized, they're carrying themselves in somewhat what you would call a civilized manner, all right? But as soon as the infrastructure falls, all right, all of these people and the law of the jungle is instituted, all right, these human beings you seeing around here, they're not going to be no different than a lion in the Sahara Serengeti. They're going to be no different than a motherfucking hyena on the Serengeti, all right? It's going to be survival of the fittest, okay? That's how these humans are going to see that they are nothing more than beasts. One thing befalleth them. As one dieth, so dieth the other. Yeah, they have all one breath, so that man have no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. All right, now let me show you why the Israelites have preeminence over beasts, okay? Because man is vain, but the Israelites, the Most High did something different with us, okay? This is Deuteronomy 4. We don't fall in that category of beasts, okay? The elect of us, all right? Lord willing, we're in that righteous number, okay? This is Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Keep therefore and do them. Talking about this blessed law, the covenant he gave us. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. The nations are as spittle, as in a bucket. The Most High likened them to spit. All right? He called them the beast of the field in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. All right? He called them animals. All right? So what differentiated us from them is this law and these commandments that he gave us, okay? That's what gave us the preeminence over these other nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is wise and understanding people. A brute beast isn't wise. He's not understanding. He just goes with the instincts and the characteristics that the Most High gave him to do. He can't differentiate from right and wrong, up and down, holy from unholy, clean and unclean. All right, a beast can't do that, and 2/3 of our people can't do that. The other nations can't do that, okay? For what nation is so great who Yahweh have said so nigh unto them, as Yahweh is our power is in all things we call upon him for. That's what civilized us. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous is all his law, which I said before you this day. All right, this is what makes us better than these other nations. And this is the reason the elect men are not going to revert to cannibalism no matter whatever happens to them. In fact, let me give you an example. Let me show you why. Let's see an example of a man of the Lord that feared Yahweh, what he did when he got in a sticky situation. This is Judges, and it was sticky. It was real sticky. But before he do some vile shit, he did something extreme, but he wasn't about to transgress the law of Yahweh Shema Shai. This is Judges 19 and 23. All right? Now, this is the difference between a brute beast and a man that fears Yahweh, okay? I'm going to start at verse 22. All right? Now, as they were making their hearts merry, behold, there the men of the city, certain sons of Belial, that's another way of saying the devil, but set the house round about, and beat at the door, and spake to the master of the house, the old man, saying, bring forth the man that came out of thine house, that we might know him. So you got a bunch of Bati boys from the tribe of Benjamin that was coming to rape this guy, all right? Doing something unseemly, no different than a fucking cannibal, okay? You can liken those things together, all right? Let's see what this man did before he said this man was ready to do before he let that unseemly thing happen to his guests. And the man, the master of the house, went out unto them and said unto them, nay, my brethren, nay. That means no. I pray you, do not so wickedly. All right. And how can he decipher between good and evil, wicked and holy? Because he had this law that was given to us, the breath of life dwelling in him. Seeing that this man had come to my house, do not this folly. This shit kind of funny, but hey, it's real. Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. So before this guy would let that unclean, abominable act go on around him, he was like, look, man, take my daughter. Go fuck my daughter. All right? At least that's natural before you come here and defile this man like that. Okay? So I'm using that to liken him before a man of the Lord resort to fucking cannibalism. All right? He's just gonna call on Yahweh Shema Shai to feed him or take him away. All right? Because he feared the Yahweh Shema Shai that much, man. You can have a man dying, all right? And you have a big po chop right in the face, like the brothers in the Maccabees. A man of the Lord, fear for Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna it's not gonna touch it, because you know that he's saying his word, he's not gonna tempt you more than you can handle. So you know, no matter what situation you're in, he's gonna bring you out of it, okay? But not a brute beast. Not a brute beast. Not these humans in this society. All right, not 2/3 of our people, okay? Now, let me get back to this excerpt, all right? And it reads, all right, we just read about this guy that killed his shipmate, all right? And this is what these Egyptians are going to do. The scriptures say Egyptians shall slay Egyptians. These Americans are going to kill Americans, what? For survival. In an excruciating twist of irony, a sailor named Richard Parker was eaten by his fellow castaways after they had eaten a tourist in 1983, Edgar Allan Poe short stories. See, in these authors, man, a lot of these guys that write these novels and shit, they be writing books out of real life things that they heard about. All right, real life scenarios. All right, that's real shit, real spill. Okay, they be writing these books and shit off of real life stories that they heard of and get rich out of. The narrative of author Gordon Peen. All right. In 1972, a group of 16 people, including the members of a Uruguayan rugby team, I saw this movie. I think the name of the movie was Alive. All right, I saw this movie. Faced a similar situation when a plane crashed stranded in the Andes Mountains in Chile. During their 70 days in the mountains, the survivors, members of the team, ate the flesh of others who died in a plane crash. This is what niggas, all right, brute beasts do when they put in sticky situations. All right? A man of the Lord is going to call out to Yahweh Shema Shai and pray for him to send quails from heaven, send a manna from heaven before he resort to eating a fucking animal, but not these Americans. These Americans are about to be put in these same scenarios, same situations. The men of the Lord too. The men of the Lord too. All right? That's why we getting built up on our most holy faith and calling out to Yahweh Shema Shai to have mercy for us, because guess what? The prudent man foreseeth the evil and he hideth himself, man. We know this is coming. We know things, scenarios like these are coming, man. Okay? Oh, yeah, that's what I just read. That's what I just read. I saw that movie, bro. I saw that movie some years ago, all right? All right, so the men of the Lord, we know the famine coming. We know pestilence coming. We know great death from Egyptians killing Egyptians are coming. All right, that's why the men of the Lord are occupied in prophecy, and you're preparing yourself for these days. This shit is going to hit most of these people like the lick. What the worst lick that you get hit with is the lick you don't see coming. All our people, 2/3 our family members and all of them, When this famine hit, they can't fathom, man. They've been in here in America all these years. Like down here in Baton Rouge, if you are a bum living under the bridge, yo, you can go to these soup kitchens and eat twice a day. These poor people down here, when I go downtown, none of them look malnutrition. They don't look like Ethiopians. Them motherfuckers eating somewhere. But society is about to collapse where you're not going to have no soup kitchen. None of that shit is going to be going on. It's going to be like the Ethiopians. You got to go hunt for your food, fish for your food. All right? That's what's about to happen here. All right? And when these Americans who have no skills, they don't have no God that's going to protect them, Jesus Christ is going to abandon them. And he's never been with them from day fucking one. You see? They're going to be no different than the animals that Yahweh Shemawah said through our beloved King Solomon. He say, men are as beasts, man. They just don't know it. All right? Survival cannibalism has happened enough that by the 19th century, it was an unspoken fact of life in the event of a shipwreck. This is the custom of the sea, include general guidelines. Drawing lots, straws, was the traditional method of deciding who would be killed and eaten and who would carry out the killing. Usually, the person with the shortest straw died, and the person with the next shortest straw was the killer. All right? Humans is about to resort to this. Your next door neighbor, the kids you go to with school, all right? The guys at your job. These are the type of shit's about to happen, man. Survival cannibalism is a last resort. Most cannibalism here in America is going to be a last resort. Now, you got heathen nations that do that shit, that partake in them customs and shit, like them pygmies in Africa and shit, New Guinea or something like that, all right? But for the most part, here in America, it's going to be this learning cannibalism and survival cannibalism. It's going to be the last resort, all right? When all of the rice, the canned goods, all right, is gone, the last canned good is gone. When the last of the meat is spoiled or they didn't ate it, all right, and 5 or 6 days has passed and there's nothing, all right, and the government is put in a curfew. If they catch you out, they're going to kill you. So people are going to be in houses starving to death. So that hunger is going to bring people out any fucking way. And what are they going to do? All right? When that hunger consumes them, all right, because the book of Lamentation tell you that's the worst way to die, all right, they're going to do unspeakable, shameless things, man. It's not far-fetched to believe, all right? Survival cannibalism, did I just read? All right, survival cannibalism is a last resort. In the case of one group adrift in a lifeboat, 116 days passed without food before they turned to eating human flesh. In most cases, anything even remotely resembling food was first eaten. Dogs, all right? Yeah, dogs they're gonna be done. All right? People eating dogs now going to these gooks. Candles. See, candles, I say that's extreme. Eating a fucking candle? You are starving to death if you eat a fucking candle. Leather. All right, I can understand leather. Leather is made from animals. So if you starving, I can see people taking the leather off shoes, putting it in water, boiling it, trying to make some leather soup. I can understand that. But a candle is fucking extreme. Shoes and blankets are all consumed first before cannibalism becomes the only resource for survival. And Esau know this shit, man. Esau know this. How do he know this? Because look, these anthropologists have put it in fucking categories. Let me get a precept for that. All right, this fucking devil, he's gonna spearhead this famine. Okay, he's doing it. You can see the genesis of it right now. This is Ezekiel to let you know he know what he's doing. All right, his so-called educated people, experts, they've categorized it. All right, they got a medical fucking term for it. All right, this is Ezekiel 28:3. All right. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, all right? There is no secret that they can hide from thee. See, and that's what this devil, he's a mad scientist. He do case studies, all right? He'll put people on islands. He'll kidnap all them people on fucking milk cartons, thousands of people that go missing, millions of people that go missing in America. He'll get a about 60 of them, put them on the island, have cameras all around the fucking island, and see how long it takes for they start killing each other and eating each other and what the things they'll do to survive, man. All right? He do these things. This bitch diabolical. So he'll do that little small case study with all those people on that island, and then he'll say, all right, so when we do this in America, on a vast nation, these are what the people are going to resort to, because they'll get so-called civilized people. And you're going to see how fast a so-called civilized person will turn into a beast, okay? Because I always use this analogy when it comes to a domesticated pig. A domesticated pig is basically pink. You look like a damn devil. But when you turn a domesticated pig back into the wild and he have to survive for himself, he regurgitates into a boar. All right, he starts growing hair and he starts growing tusks. All right, and that same domesticated pig becomes violent. All right, those wild boars that be out there in the woods, man, them things will attack you and eat your ass up. Okay, but when they were in the so-called civilized area where the farmer would come feed them slop every day and give them water every day, he was cool. All right. Those survival genes lay dormant within him. But when you send him out to the wild while he have to survive for himself, he turns very violent, man. And this is a fact. I'm not pulling that on my ass. Google it. All right. A domesticated pig, if you throw him out in the wild, he turns into a wild boar. That's a fact. Okay. And that's what the same thing these Americans about to do. They're about to turn into wild boars. Okay. All right, and let me see. Do we got another example? All right. Under these terrible circumstances, cannibalism seems like a logical step. See, and you see the mind of a maniac? The so-called white man is a fucking maniac. Who would say some shit like that? All right, if you're surviving, fuck it. Let's go eat some toes. Let's cut off his feet. All right, that's how a maniac thinks, man. But a man of the Lord is going to be like, I've never seen a righteous forsaken or they seed begging bread. All right? Yahweh Shema Shah, in Matthew the 28th chapter, he said he would be with me always. He told Joshua in the first chapter, he said, I will be with you always. Okay? A man of the Lord is going to wait you up on the Lord. He know the Lord is going to come through with a ram in the bush. But the westernized mind, the so-called white man, and everybody that lives according to his philosophies, they're going to say, well, man, if you put in that situation, it's logical. We'll understand. You did it to survive. All right? That's why Micah, the second chapter, say this place will pollute you. That bitch called this a logical step. Eating a human being, a logical step, man. That's why this place will pollute you, man. It appears in Looney Tunes cartoons when characters find themselves in some of their life-threatening situations. And I remember seeing that shit and looking at Bugs Bunny and shit. He'll be looking at the other character and the character turn the food and shit. That's why we really shouldn't let our kids look at them fucking cartoons, man. All right? Suddenly, Bugs Bunny or Elmer Fudd notice a companion that looks like an awful lot of, like a nice, perfectly cooked porterhouse steak. As terrible as the thought is, it makes sense. You see? That makes sense to the devil. But Western society's willingness to forgive its members' consumption of human flesh in the direst of circumstance is in a stark contrast of how the West views learned cannibalism. And they one of the same, man. They one of the same from what I read, okay? And that's what's going to happen. Be it survival cannibalism or learned cannibalism, these Americans are going to be put in these same situations where these documented facts throughout the archives of history happen, and they're going to do the same shit, and the so-called white mans know it. The elites know this, all right? Now, let me show you what happened during world wars, all right? It's never been a world war where cannibalism didn't happen, okay? We're going into World War III. Matter of fact, let me get this precept, all right? Let me get this precept real fast, because in World War II, it was cannibalism in France, in Russia, wherever the war was. Everybody, the multitude of the people resorted to cannibalism. So what you think? You think World War III is going to be different? Hell to the fucking no. It's going to be worse than World War I and World War II. All right? This is Matthew 24 and verse 21. All right. And it reads, for there then shall be great tribulation, such as not since the beginning of the world to this time. So out of all the famines that are documented through all kinds of history, the famine that's going to be here in the last days is going to be more sorrow and way worse than any other thing documented in all these modern times. All right. And this is a prophecy. All right. No, nor ever shall be. It's going to be so bad that it'll never happen again. Okay. And except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, the days shall be shortened. All right. So that sets up for what we're about to read over here in World War II. All right. So whatever we read here, just know World War III is going to be worse. Okay. Now this is World War II and what happened during World War II when it comes to cannibalism. Okay. Many instances of cannibalism by necessity. And see, that's what the West say. Oh, it was necessary. That's what a polluted mind tells you. So that when you read on these things, it's gonna be welcome. People are gonna be like, well, it's a famine. People are eating bodies to survive. He killed his little son so he can survive. You know, it's gonna be welcome. People are gonna so-called understand. Many instances and the Most High would never let that happen to his elect, all right? That would never happen to an elect man, okay? The Most High would not tempt you. Let me get that precept real fast, all right? However the Most High tempt you, let you get tempted, he know you can handle it. He knew Job could handle what Job had to go through. He knew what he put in Job. This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. All right. And it reads, there have no temptation taken you but such as common to man. But Yahweh is faithful. See, we know Yahweh, we know our power is faithful. I've never seen the righteous forsaken of their seed begging bread. You stand on to that word, man. You hold fast to it, man. No matter what situation you put in. Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that which you're able. All right, if you go 10 days without eating or you haven't eaten 20 days, the Most High know you can handle it. All right? Before you eat a motherfucking human, you know the Most High got you. All right? He know you can handle them 10, 20 days that you're not eating. All right? He just want to see how you're going to endure. All right? When he see you going through adversity and tribulation and you calling out to him, all right? He loves that. It say, it's written, when our great king was on the cross, it say it pleased Yahweh Shai to stricken him. Okay? Salakia, all right? For there has no temptation take you, but such as common to man, but Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above what you are able. He said, my servants shall eat, but they shall be hungry, okay? But will the temptation also make a way to escape? He going to make a way for us to escape, Akim. This ain't going to happen to us, Lord willing, we're in that righteous number, that you may be able to bear it. All right? Man, the Lord going to be able to bear that shit. When everybody else starving to death and they cutting up bodies, cutting up pig and shit, and we around that shit, we're not going to eat that shit. We're not going to touch that shit. We know the Most High going to make a way for us. What he did for us in the wilderness. He told Moses, smite this rock and make water come out of it. He made manna come from heaven. He made quails fly and sacrifice themselves for us, man. Okay? All right? But hey, World War III is up on us. Let's see what happened during World War II. Many instances of cannibalism by necessary were recorded during World War II. All right? And you get this another thing. Whenever Esau give you a number about something, you can quadruple the numbers, all right? You can quadruple it, all right? For example, during the 872-day siege of Leningrad, reports of cannibalism began to appear in the winter of 1941 and 42, all right? After all birds, rats, pets were eaten by survivors, Leningrad police even formed a special division to combat cannibalism. So if you got to, why do people get police? To keep order in a realm, all right? So people, all right, you think during World War II, all these people dying, they caring about people eating dead bodies? No, the police was coming in because people were killing people to eat. They was killing people to eat, okay? You're not going to want to eat a decomposed body and get sick. All right? So they were killing fresh bodies to eat. That's why you need the fucking police. Okay? And this is what was going on during World War II, man. What the fuck you think gonna happen during World War III? Some 2.8 million, listen to this shit, 2.8 million Soviet POWs, prisoners of war, died in Nazi custody in less than 8 months during 1941 and 42. All right, because that was happening with both sides. If the Japanese caught somebody, the prisoners of war, they didn't feed them. If the Nazis caught somebody, they didn't feed them. If the Russians caught the enemy, they didn't feed them. All right, but all sides was doing that shit. All right, all of them were committing war crimes. America just a hypocrite. Okay, according to I don't know what this acronym is. United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. All right. According to the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, by the winter of 1941, starvation and disease and mass death in unimaginable proportions. Now, this is World War II. Matthew the 24th chapter say, all right, that is going to be way worse than any documented war since the Earth been in rotation. So this is what they're saying about World War II in the 40s, where you didn't have the technology that you got today. All right. It said mass death of unimaginable proportions. So let's say millions. All right. It's safe to say millions. Okay. This deliberate starvation led to many incidents of cannibalism. All right. So if you got millions of people not eating, and they're saying led to many incidents, nah, man. Almost all of them resorted to cannibalism, man. They don't have the breath of life in them. All right? These people were eating each other during World War II. They're going to eat each other during World War III. These women, when I go in the scriptures after I read this clip, women going to kill their kids, man. These women don't love their kids because love is keeping the commandments. So they're not loving according to the commandments. They're loving according to what the so-called white man taught them love is. All right? They're going to eat these kids. All right? Following the Soviet victory at Stalingrad, it was found that some German soldiers in the besieged city, cut off from supplies, resorted to cannibalism. So these are German soldiers that wasn't even caught by the enemy. They were just behind enemy lines, and their supply line got cut off. So who were they killing? Who were they eating? They was catching the enemy and killing them? No, that's not how World War II was fought. All right? World War II was fought. They was drilling these trenches, shooting at one another. You know what I'm saying? No, that might have been World War I. I don't want to vain jangle. All right? One of those wars, they were just in them trenches shooting at one another. All right? But it's safe to say that when these guys resorted to cannibalism, they was killing their comrades, man. They was killing their fucking comrades. All right? Later following the German surrender, all right. So if these niggas surrendered and they resorted to cannibalism, who the fuck they was eating? They was eating their fucking comrades, man. It ain't no love in America, man. These people are going to eat their loved ones, man. All right. Roughly 130,000 Germans were taken prisoners of war. Almost all of them were sent to POW camps in Siberia or Central Asia, where due to being chronically undernourished by the Soviet captors, all right, because when they caught each other, they did not feed them. And see, we're not going to do that, all right? Because when we capture our enemies, you're going to slavery. You're going to build our castles. You're going to build our mansions. You're going to serve us. We're going to feed our enemies. We're going to feed Jazz. We're going to feed you because you're going to serve us. Okay? We're going to kill a lot of them too, though. Don't get it twisted. Many resorted to cannibalism. And then look, fewer than 5,000 of the prisoners taken at Stalingrad survived captivity. Now, out of 100,000 men, 5,000 of them survived. Wow. That's more than 95%, man. God damn. That's in the 90th percentile. All right? And keep in mind, we're reading about World War II. We're reading about the second war. What about the third war that's coming quickly? It's about to be nasty around this motherfucker, man. Cannibalism took place in the concentration and death camps in the independent state of Croatia. a Nazi German puppet state, which was governed by the fascist Ustasher organization, who committed the genocide of Serbs and in the Holocaust in NDH. Some survivors testified that some of the Ustashites drank the blood from the slashed throats of the victims. Okay, and during war, man, like when you look at a lot of these war movies, you gotta understand the normal citizens. This is talking about the soldiers at war when supply lines got cut off, when these guys was in these POW camps. All right, but no, you gotta understand in France, man, you had nothing but cannibalism going down when the Germans took over France. Them people were starving to death, and cannibalism. It was millions of them eating each other in France during World War II, man. When the infrastructure fell. Okay, now I got another account down here. It's kind of funny too. Europe and Russia. Check this shit out. What happens in the Gulag? What happens in the Gulag, man? All right, Eastern and Europe and Russia. And then all these are documented things that happen throughout history. All right, and remember, Matthew the 24th chapter, it say World War III, things that's going to happen in this final hour is going to be 1,000,000 times worse than any other age, any other time period since the Earth been in orbit. So whatever we read, keep that in your mind. In his book, The Gulag Archipelago, excuse me if I couldn't break it down right, Soviet writer Alaskanser Solentinsin described cases of cannibalism in 20th century Soviet Union. Of the famine in Poland 1921 through 22, he wrote, the horrible famine was up to cannibalism, up to consuming children by their own parents. And look, we're going to funnel that through the scriptures. That's biblical. All right? That's how the Most High deal with the sons of man that disobey him and shake their fists at him, man. All right? He'll put a spirit on you, make you kill your kids and eat their asses, man. The famine, which Russia had never known even in the time of troubles in 1601 to 1603. Cannibalism was widespread during the Holodomor famine of Ukraine. See, and in Russia and Ukraine is the theme of the day in prophecy. In 1932 and 1933, during the 1930s, multiple acts of cannibalism were reported from Ukraine, Russia's Volga, South Siberian, and Cuba regions during the Soviet famine of 1932 and 33. You see this multiple act bullshit? They say millions of acts. Millions. All right? When you have a sore famine in the land, millions of people live on these continents, man. All right? So it's not going to be millions of people, but you got 500 accounts of people that committed cannibalism. No, say what it is. Millions of the motherfuckers did it. All right? So survival was moral as well as a physical struggle. A woman doctor wrote to a friend in June 1933. Now, note, this is the one that was funny to me. This was a doctor in her memoirs. This was a woman doctor. All right? So doctors are so-called civilized, okay? A woman doctor wrote to a friend in June 1933 that she had not yet become a cannibal, but she was not sure that I should not be one by the time this letter reaches you. Oh, shit. This shit funny, man. Hey, when I first read this shit, I was laughing harder than this. It said a doctor wrote to a friend in June 1933 that she had not yet become a cannibal, but was not sure that I should not be one by the time this letter reaches you. Damn. All right? And this is going to be common in these modern times, all right? These first world privileges about to be taken away, all right? You about to see people for who they truly are, man. Animals, brute beasts, sons and daughters of Belial. The good people died first. Those who refused to steal or to prostitute themselves died. Those who gave food to others died. Those who refused to eat corpse died. Those who refused to kill their fellow man died. All right? At least 2,505 people were sentenced for cannibalism in the years 1932 and 1933 in Ukraine, though the actual number of cases was certainly much higher. No shit, man. That shit was in the millions, man. Get the fuck out of here. All right? But look, she said people that so-called had integrity died first. All right? So we're going to know that no one has integrity. The scriptures tell us, great kings say, you either with me or against me. The only people that have integrity and understanding is the servants of Yahweh Shem Shai and those that are under his umbrella. All right. So no one is going to have integrity here in America. Everyone is going to be a dog-eat-dog day. Everybody's going to kill and be killed in that day and eat one another, man. All right. But you know what? I had more to read, but I'm about to just jump into scriptures. All right. Because all these things happen, all right, in the scriptures. All of these things is forewritten in the scriptures, man. All right? All right? Nobody just vain jangling. We're going to funnel that through the scriptures. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 52. All right? This is a prophecy. These prophecies, not all of them have come, they have all come to pass, but they're going to, these curses, all right, consumed us in every captivity. But guess what? These curses come all the way down to the last captivity, all right, because we've been besieging our gates before, all right. This Deuteronomy 28 and 52. And he shall besiege thee in all our gates, talking about our enemies, all right, so-called white man. Your gates is going to be your neighborhood, your hood near you, what you love so much, all right. The so-called white man is going to cut off the cities, all right? All right, he's going to have checkpoints everywhere. He's going to have his drones in the air, his robot dogs everywhere, and he's going to lock your neighborhood down, okay? And the law is going to be, if you caught outside and you don't have the proper documentation for you to be out your house, they're going to kill you or take you to a concentration camp, okay? So that's what you call a besiegement, okay? Until the high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trusted. And our people trust in their money, they trust in their system, they trust in their 401k, all right? But they don't trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. So it's fuck them, okay? Throughout all thy land, all right? And when I say fuck them, you know I'm not being over righteous, all right? But what did our great king say? Shake the dust off your feet as a testimony against them, man, all right? The reason is fuck them because his hand was stretched out still, and we prophesied to him. And what Jeremiah said, man, I'm out here for their good, and this is how they repay me. So when you saying fuck them, we were once in their position. We once was carried away to these dumb idols. So we're trying to save them. We're trying to throw them in a life jacket, and they throw that bitch back to you. Okay? So I'm not being over righteous when I say fuck them, but it's fuck them. Okay? Fuck them. They don't want you. How about Shema Shai? Fuck them. Don't I hate them that hate thee, O Lord? And he shall besiege, and Lord, and you know, let me stay humble. Yahweh Shema Shai, we're in that righteous number. I don't know if I'm of the elect. You know, that's why we make our call and election sure, man. All right? Do our due diligence to make our call and election sure, okay? And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which Yahweh, thy power, have given thee, all right? And they did this during the time of the Syrians, okay? They did this during the time of the Romans. They besieged us in our gates, all right? So these prophecies will come to pass, but guess what? It's going to happen in modern Egypt. It's going to happen during these modern times, all right? And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body. What is the fruit of thine own body? Your children. This is a curse. This is a prophecy, okay? All of these women that's half naked on these Instagram sites and shit, all right? When they go to do their Christmas, they take the pictures of all their Christmas presents they done bought for their children. All right, they be at the restaurants. I do this for my children. All that bullshit. They gonna eat them kids, man. They don't know what real love is. They don't know what real love is. They don't keep the commandments. All right, they don't love their children. When you teach your children Western philosophy, you're killing your children. You're polluting your children. So they don't love their children. They're going to eat the motherfuckers, man. Ministers and women shall bring forth monsters, man. Okay? The flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which Yahweh thy power have given thee. In the siege and in straitness wherewith our enemies shall distress thee. And your enemy is going to besiege you in. It's going to have a sore famine in the earth. And these women going to be in these damn houses. Nerves going to be bad. Little kids going to be crying and hungry. All right. They're going to be on week 8 without eating. And that child is going to start looking like a pork chop sandwich. All right. Because you got to understand. The human physiology, the human mindset. Esau has studied these things, man. When you start starving to death, your mind start getting in disarray. Your thought patterns start getting cloudy. Okay? Your body start yearning for nutrition. Your body start aching. It starts hurting. Your mind is going all over the place. Not to mention you're going to have demons consuming your ass because you're outside of the temple. That child is going to start looking like a fucking ham sandwich to these motherfuckers, and they're going to eat them, all right? And they're going to eat them, all right? These scriptures can't be broken, man. These scriptures can't be broken. Let's see what the brother Baruch said. The Most High watches over his word to perform it, man. This is Baruch. All right, go to the top. All right, this Baruch 2:1. Therefore, Yahweh have made good his word. You see, I want to bring that part out, which he pronounced against us. We just read Deuteronomy 28. All right, he pronounced that against us, and he's made good on his word. All right, and he's going to make good on his word again against our judges that judged Israel, against our kings, against our princes, against the men of Israel and Judah, to bring us great plagues. Eating your child and cannibalism is a fucking plague. Famine is a plague, man, such as never happened under the whole heaven. All right? As it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to things that are written in the law of Moses. That's what we just read in Deuteronomy 28. The Most High has made good on them. So you think he's going to make good on them during World War III? All right? During this upcoming war? All right? Cannibalism is going to be the thing of the day. When you walk around this bitch and you think you smell chicken, you're going to smell a child on a grill burning. All right? You're going to smell them burning. All right? And this is an account that happened when we were originally besieged by the Assyrians. All right? This is 2 Kings chapter 6. Verse 25, I always bring this one out. All right. Now let's see what happened when the Assyrians besieged us. All right. Now this is 2 Kings 6:25. And there was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it. All right. So the Most High made good on that during the time of the Assyrians, okay? Until an ass's head was sold for 4 pieces of silver. All right. I think 4 is 80. Don't quote me on it. Okay. But we're not even supposed to eat a fucking donkey. That's a unlawful food. And back then, they knew the law, okay? But these motherfuckers paying big bucks to eat fucking donkey heads, man. And the 4th part of calves done for 5 pieces of silver. So they got so hungry, they was eating salakia, a cab of doves done. They was eating bird shit, man. They was eating bird shit and paying good money for it, 5 pieces of silver. 5 pieces of silver was good money back then for bird shit. That's how hungry they got. So if a person eating bird shit, it's not far-fetched to think they eat a human, right? If you resort to eating bird shit, what's eating a human? Okay? And the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, and there cried a woman unto him, saying, help me, O Lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord do not help thee, what shall I help thee? That's some real shit. If the Most High ain't helping you, what the fuck can I do? Straight up. Out of the barn floor and out of the wine press. And the king said to her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son on the morrow, okay? So we boiled my son, all right? These nigga women gonna be boiling their children. All these wicked ass women got men on child support, all this gender equality bullshit, all right? See, you got to understand, all right? Isaiah 4:1. Something extreme has to happen for a woman to get, an American woman to get to the mindset, I'm ready to share this, man. I don't care. He don't even got to take care of me. I get my own food, water, and raiment. Let me be called by your name. Something extreme got to transpire for an American woman to get in that mindset, because these women fucked up. These women are destroyed mentally. This is the type of shit that's gonna get their mind right. Not to mention great rape. Their ass is gonna be getting raped. They're gonna see that they weak and they ain't shit. So we bore my son and did eat him. That's extreme, man. That's your mental, your cognitive function, your thinking capacity is gone when you resort to something that low. Okay? And see, and that's what's going to happen to everybody that don't have the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. I don't care how you think civilized a person is, all right? The men of the Lord are here to tell you that, man, all these people you see walking around in the mall and at work are brute fucking beasts. You change the temperature in the room and make things hard for them, all right? You're going to see their true selves come out. And you're going to see that they're no different than a fucking hyena, man. The temperature in the room is so-called civilized. You got first world privileges. All right? Now change the temperature in the room and make this bitch like fucking Ethiopia somewhere. All right? And see how these fucking Americans act, man. And I said unto her the next day, give thy son that we may eat him, and he should have hid, and she have hid her son. Okay? So these women in ancient time past, when Jerusalem was besieged, they resorted to cannibalism. All right? And those women was going out back then, but what about nowadays? Our women, bro, they are like, they are gone. So it's not hard to see them doing some shit like that. It's not, I can see it so clear as day. I can see it so clear as day. I be seeing them walking around with their little kids, have on their little J's, have their little polo shirts on. You know what I'm saying? Posting their kids all on Instagram and shit. Eat them little kids, man. Gonna eat them. You're gonna get microchips put on them, and you're gonna eat them. All right. This is Sirach 48. All right. Hear this, O house of Jacob, which are called by the name of Yasharallah, and are come forth out of the waters of Judah. Okay. Which swear by the name of Yahweh and make mention of the power of Israel, but not. No. Salakia. I got the wrong scripture. Salakia for that. All right, this is what I want. All right, Sirach 48:1. Then stood up Elijah the prophet as fire, and his word burnt like a lamp. He brought a sore famine upon them, and by his zeal he diminished their number. You see what I'm saying? This sore famine is going to diminish the number of human beings on the earth. All right? In the men of the Lord, the Most High is going to give us those spiritual powers to combat our enemies like Elijah combated those prophets of Baal and had all their asses slaughtered. And then he shut up heaven where it didn't rain for a few years, man. We're going to be able to do that same thing, man. Okay? Lord willing, we're in that righteous number, and you had the faith to do it, man. All right? He brought a sore famine upon them, and by his zeal, he diminished their number, man. He deleted them niggas, man. Okay? And by the word of Yahweh, he shut up the heaven and also 3 times bowed down fire. O Elijah, how was thou honored in thy wondrous deeds, and who made glory like unto thee? And then look, during that famine, all right, how was he eating? The Most High had a crow come feed him every day, and he put him by a pool of water, man. All right, while everybody else was hungry, he was fed. The Most High take care of servants. During that sore famine, when everybody was dying and those numbers were diminishing, he was eating 3 years. All right? He had water to drink and food to eat. Okay? I'm going to leave off on this one. Now I'm finally getting sleepy. Okay. All right. This is Ezekiel 5 and 8. All right. And it reads, therefore, thus saith Yahweh thy power, behold, I even am against thee. See, that's what we're asking Yahweh Shema Shah to forgive us. You don't want Yahweh against you. El Shaddai, the king of terrorists, man. All right? This is what he's going to do to everyone's against him. And will execute judgment in the midst of thee in the sight of the nations. Oh, a God of love wouldn't do that. God is love. See, they about to find out that they were lied to in modern day Christianity. He say, I am against thee, and he will execute the judgment in the sight of thee. Now let's see what's a part of that judgment. And I would do that in thee which I have not done, and whereto I would not do any more alike, because of all thine abominations. All right, now this is the judgment. I'm telling you, our Heavenly Father don't play. Therefore, the Father shall eat the sons in the midst of thee. All right? So to eat, before you eat them, you got to kill them. Father going to kill his own son for bread and water, for meat, for sustenance, okay? And the sons shall eat their fathers. And the father, and see, that's why it ain't no love around this bitch. What everybody think is love, this worldly love, is nothing. The love, what is love? Keeping of the commandments. 1 John, the 5th chapter, for this is love, that we could keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. If you don't have the love of the Father in you, all right, if you don't have his spirit in you, you don't know what love is. These people don't know what love is. You put them in a bad predicament, they're going to kill each other and devour one another. The son is going to kill the father, and the father is going to kill the son. And I will execute judgment in thee, and the whole remnant of thee will I scatter into all the winds, okay? And that's the judgment of the Lord, man. And the judgment of the Lord is grievous. Yahweh Shema Shai do not play, man. All right? He's about to massacre people. And guess what? These Americans with these first world privileges, this haughtiness, this arrogance, this is about to be a nation of cannibals. All right? A nation of Hannibal Lectors. All right? They're about to kill one another, man. So with that, all right, let me read that precept. All right? This is Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat. Indeed, man. During the famine, his servant shall eat. Elijah ate during the famine. But ye shall be hungry. All right? Who is ye? It's talking about the world, 2/3 of our people. All right? Everybody that loveth a lie. Behold, my servant shall drink. All right? Because where you got a famine, you're going to have a drought. All right? Because look, we're talking about a famine, but a drought is actually worse than a famine because you need intake water every day. Water has to be in your system daily. You could go some time without eating, but water you got to find that source of water daily. All right? So we ain't even talk about a drought. Water have you dead in 3 or 4 days, man. All right? You probably go a couple months, not eating, right? Not eating, but you shall be thirsty. And behold, my servant shall rejoice. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart. And then when he say sing for joy and heart, our mind, wisdom is going to stabilize our mind. All right? Let's talk about your mind. You're going to have joy in when all this death, destruction, famine, calamity going on, you're going to be stabilized and you're going to have joy. Everybody else is going to be distraught in a lower state. But we're going to know, all right, this prophecy coming to pass. The kingdom of heaven drawing now. This got to happen. Our great king about to come. We're going to be happy when we see all this shit, man. All right? And you shall cry for sorrow of heart and shall howl for vexation of spirit. All right? Your spirit is most definitely vexed when you get to the point you would kill your child and eat him. When you get to that point, your spirit is dead. Okay? You a fucking animal. Okay? Con, brother. Con. You see, this devil, he gonna taint the water, bro. He gonna poison the water. Because you got a lot of, really, for a drought to happen in America, you got a lot of, like down south, down here, you got a lot of reservoirs with a lot of water, man. So he's just gonna poison the waters down here. Now out west, that's different. They water have water shortages. But like they're up there in certain places in America, water is in abundance. Like Flint, Michigan, that's a trial run. They got plenty of water up there. But so what they're gonna do? They're gonna poison the fucking water. They're gonna poison it. They're at least gonna do that on purpose, man. They're gonna poison the water. Okay? And guess what? And this all by design. This devil, he's gonna starve you out. He's gonna bring in a drought. And guess what the people of the earth going to do? They're going to walk to those concentration camps. They're going to sacrifice themselves for the government and want a bread and water. Here, put that chip in me. All right, put that karagma in me. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I done killed my mama, man. I done killed my mama and put on the barbecue grill, man. That's all by design, man. He's going to starve them out, and these people going to walk into those concentration camps. So with that, I'm going to give infinite honors to my Heavenly Father and my great King, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Harakakadash. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahushua. Kwam Yasharala, Abba Baba. Right. Shalom to you, brothers. Keep pushing.